In the shipping industry, money always gets above preserving ships, and today's story really does show that. In 2021, a very iconic vessel to the Philippine shipping industry, the MV St. Pope John Paul II, was beached in Chittagong. This video will detail her entire journey from Kawajiri to Chittagong. In 1984, the Conda shipbuilding industry created the MV Numiyako for a company called Hankyu Ferries. She sailed between Kitakyushu and Osaka. In 1996, her and her sister, the New Yamato, were sold to two different companies, Sulpicia Lines and WG&A. Think of it as like two brothers that grew up together, only one became a successful businessman and the other became a fat guy playing video games, except in this case they were both successful. She was renamed Super Ferry 12. In 2002, the three companies that made up WG&A decided to have a divorce. William Lines ended up going bankrupt, Gothug survived, as well as the Boitas. However, the Super Ferry 12 was rebranded to the new Super Ferry. They really wanted to hold on to old times, eh? She became the flagship of the line and had the best time in her career. But of course all good things come to an end, and Super Ferry was forced into a marriage a couple years later when they were bought out in 2010 by Negros Navigation. But no need to worry, because eventually she was entered back into service as the MV St. Pope John Paul II, named after, well, St. Pope John Paul II. I don't know that much about it. Luckily for our little hero in the story, for the rest of her career, there would be no major incidents. In 2021, however, Tugo sold her only because she was too old. This brought an end to one of the most historic ships in the Philippine shipping industry, mainly because she was a former super ferry vessel, and many ships have not survived to this day. The only two super ferry vessels left are the MV St. Leo the Great and the MV St. Three's Child of Jesus. A crew arrived to take her away, and a couple days later, she arrived in Bangladeshi waters. She did a 2-week quarantine before finally the ship was beached in Chittagong, thus bringing our story to an end. So, how long will it take for the ship to be scrapped? What's the next super ferry vessel to go to the scrapyards? And will the Filipinos in my comments please speak English? Napakagandang tanong iyan. I'm sorry for all the Filipinos out there.